Hey y'all, I am back for vlog number 3 in a new location. Hopefully there is better lighting in here. And I'm also rocking the post-hot yoga wet hair bun. Very pinnable, clearly, right? But it's nap time. So here I am doing vlog number 3 and I'm just going to go ahead and jump right into it. The first question says, any advice on how to continue to grow my blog? I think that's a great question. I wish I knew more of the tricks. Actually, I don't wish I knew more of the tricks. I don't know any of the tricks to get more readers or to post at certain times or all those fancy things people do to get their blog to grow. Mine has grown very slowly and very organically, and I think it's because I write what I want to write, which I think is the best tip out there. Someone told me once to write a blog that you would want to read. And I think if you do that and you stay true to your voice and write about topics that are interesting to you and open up a little bit about yourself, I think readers will, I don't want to say show up, grow, come around and stick around as they get to know you and what you're going to write about. At least I think that's worked for me. Also, getting involved in the community on Twitter, on writing on other blogs, and writing sincere, authentic comments on other blogs is nice. And see if there's anything else to grow the blog. Just put time into it. Be consistent. Let people know when they can expect a new post, because I think that keeps me at least checking back in with blogs that I read, is knowing when I can expect another one and getting to know the person. So open up a little bit about yourself and enjoy it. Just write something that you want to read. And the second part of that question says, I'm leaving for a business trip next week. Sorry, this is probably like a month ago now. My bad. And won't have time to blog for 3 days. Any advice? There's a couple things you can do. You can pre-write posts and schedule those to go up on the morning that you won't be there. You can get someone to guest blog for you. Personally, I'm not wild about guest posts. Sometimes they're fitting and I like that, but I also go to blogs to read that person that I've gotten to know, to read their voice. And so sometimes I skip over guest blogs if they're not really pertinent to something I'm interested in. And I guess the last thing you could do is just take the 3 days off. I think it's okay if life happens and you've got a business trip or you're taking a vacation to say, hey, I'm not going to be here, or hey, I won't have time to blog for 3 days, because I guess you never want to say I won't be here. But I think it's okay to take a couple of days off, and I really think people understand pretty well, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. The next question is, has Haley shown any signs of giving up her nap? It's probably the past week, actually. She's 23 months old, almost. I guess she'll be 23 months old on Thursday, and I'm writing this on Tuesday, or doing this on Tuesday. So yeah, she's 23 months old by the time this posts on Friday, and lately we've pushed her naps back. They are closer to going down between 12:30 and 1, and sometimes she takes a little bit to fall asleep, and I've actually been waking her up if it goes past 3:30, which is a cardinal rule I said I'd never break, never wake a sleeping child. But I really still like her bedtime at 7 p.m. So I'm trying to figure out her naps. I guess that's a long-winded way to say I'm not really sure what's going on in her naps, but she hasn't shown any signs of giving them up completely. And I don't think that is going to be an option for her, because I plan on, if she tries to give up nap, to still have quiet time. If she doesn't want a nap, that's fine. I'll give her a book and she can go sit in her crib for an hour or an hour and a half. She's actually pretty good at self-play, so that may sound long, but it's not that long. And we're going to continue quiet time for a long, long time if she does try and give up her nap. But right now, no, she's still crashing hard, and it depends on what we do for the morning. But anywhere between 12:30 and 1, she'll go down for 2 to 3 hours. And crossing my fingers, that doesn't change soon. I really need nap time. Going down. I've recently started my own blog and was wondering how you balance reading blogs while managing and writing your own blog. I always write first. I think it helps to get started first thing in the morning, and I go and I write my post, and then that's done, and I have to do some other work. I do some social media work on the side, and once I take care of everything I need to do, then I'll go and read blogs. So really, I probably only get in reading anywhere from 5 to 10 a day, which isn't that much considering how much I used to read them. I also have the Bloglovin app on my phone, and so I read a lot on my phone if I'm, I don't know, at the gym, supposed to be working out. I'll sit there and read blogs sometimes. But that's really fun for keeping up with some of my favorite blogs. However, it's harder to comment through there. So I don't always comment on the blogs that I read, but I always make sure my own things are done before I go and read other blogs. I find myself reading on the favorite blogs, limited time. Do you have any tips? I guess those are my tips. Get all your stuff done first. And also I find that if I write my post first, I have an easier time being true to my voice. It sounds kind of like a hippie term, but if I read other blogs, I find myself almost unconsciously mimicking them, either in the way that they're presenting information or the way that they're writing or adding pictures. And so if I do mine first, I feel like I'm most authentic to myself, and then I go and read. And the next question says, how do you add your signature to your website at the bottom of all your pictures? Oh, the watermarking, the watermark on my actual picture, I use Windows Live Writer to blog, and you can set that up so it automatically goes on every picture. And I really like that. I know people could crop it out, and it's not that big of a deal, but I do feel like it makes it a little more difficult to steal my pictures and use them in your own way. So I do that through Windows Live Writer, but I know you can also do it through PicMonkey. PicMonkey.com is an awesome website that I do my editing on, so I highly recommend that as well. The next question is, this might be highly inappropriate, but I was wondering what kind of living a blogger makes as a source of income. Is your weekly TV gig paid? Are you paid for anything else? Not asking because I'm curious if your blog is skewed. I've read enough to know it's not. Thank you. But because I'm truly curious. That's so, I don't mean personal like offending. I'm happy to talk about anything, but I don't know, because I don't know how many blog views other bloggers get, so I can't tell you. It goes a lot on page views, I guess. Okay, let's start from the beginning. What kind of living a blogger makes? I don't make all that much money. The money that I get from my blog comes from my Blogger ad network, which is the ad I have on the side. I'm part of Blogger, and I get paid based on my page views that come to my page. You don't have to click on it, just the fact that when you open it up and the ad is there, I get credit for that. It's really not that much, to be honest with you. That's why a lot of bloggers have gone to doing more sponsored posts. I'm just weird about them. I'm not big on sponsored posts. I know I do them sometimes, but truly only if they 100% align in something that I want to review, something I would buy with my own money, something I'm truly interested in. And I find those aren't very common, so I don't do a whole lot. I say no to a lot of sponsored posts, but that is another source of income. My TV gig, that sounds cool. I like that. My TV gig, it is not paid. No, it is not. And I actually buy the food for it and everything. So that actually, it just comes out of my pay because I'm paying for a sitter and I'm paying for the food. But I really love the experience, and I really like the exposure and the people I've gotten to meet. So it's a positive experience and totally worth it for me. You paid for anything else? No. I guess the big answer is I don't get paid for much. I do it truly because I love it. There is some extra money that comes in through the ad network and through occasional sponsored posts, and a lot of bloggers go into doing freelance writing too, which is another option to get paid. But blogging itself, at least in my experience, is not a high income producing job. Now maybe as I get more into it, I'll figure it out. There may be some things in the works, but I don't make a ton of money from it. I do some freelance on the side, social media work, and that's where most of my work at home money comes from. But the blog is mostly for fun. Yeah, I guess that's my answer. But that'll be different for everybody because I'm sure people get a lot more page views than I do, and that will help you make more money. Okay. Let's see. Have you always been an optimistic person? I think so. I think I've always been pretty optimistic. I've always been pretty happy. I know that. Even through the tumultuous teenage years, I've been pretty happy. I think my optimism comes a lot from being grateful. There are multiple times a day that in the back of my head, I just stop and truly recognize, reflect on how grateful I am for a lot of things in my life, for my family, for my health, for our ability to work hard and make our dreams come true. Cheese alert. But really, I think reflecting on how grateful I am for so many things makes me an optimistic person because I'm always like, it could be worse. It could be worse. and that keeps me pretty happy. How long did it take to get you to switch from calorie counting to intuitive eating? That took a while. It happened probably over a few years. It went from, I graduated college in 2006, and that's when I feel like I really started my healthy eating journey. And that was about calorie counting. And then when I was working first as a health coach, it was a lot of diabetic exchange counting. And then I eventually just started eating more real food. I figured I felt better on that. And it took a lot of time, but I finally let go of calorie counting. I can't tell you the last time I've really counted calories, and it feels great. It's so freeing, and I never would have thought I could be here, but I am, and it's awesome. And I'm a huge advocate of eating real food, and the rest will take care of itself. So, hoorah! That was weird. Sorry. Getting toward the 11-minute mark. So this will be my last question. Hannah says, do you ever just crave cheeseburgers and fries? Not really cheeseburgers, but Mexican I definitely crave, and fries are always really good, and I'll eat them if I want them. Actually, we have cheeseburgers on the menu for this Friday. Well, just regular burgers. I can't ever taste the cheese on cheeseburgers, and so I never really eat cheeseburgers. But if I crave anything, I'll eat it. I definitely don't try and deny myself anything. And the weekends are usually a little more relaxed with food. And that's when I get in a lot of my, I don't know, unhealthy pizza. But I don't think pizza's that unhealthy especially if you make it at home. I don't have any other really greasy cravings or anything. I just don't care for that food any type of more. I'm getting tongue twisted. That's the last question for today. Thanks for tuning in again, and I think I'll have one more post after this, and then I will stop vlogging. Or maybe I'll do it again. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But thanks for your questions, and again, have an awesome weekend.